Hello and welcome to Car Dealer Live. My name is James Batchelor, and today on the show we're talking about the digital transformation that's well underway in the industry and how dealers can get a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Now, joining me are two, well, they're experts in the field, aren't they? They are Shaun Harris, commercial director at Codeweavers, who are leaders in offering digital solutions to dealers. And we also have one of the nicest guys in the industry, Will Blackshaw from Blackshaws. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Lovely to have you on. Now, this is a big subject, but one that is so important this year. I mean, in a year that no one could have predicted, really, I think it's fair to say. Shaun, just before we kick off, can you just give us an idea of what Codeweavers do, but more importantly, how 2020 has been for you?
Yeah, so we're a software development company, probably best known for providing finance solutions to retailer websites, but we do a lot more than that. We work with a lot of the major OEMs on their .co.uk sites. We work in the point of sale arena. We do finance and e-commerce solutions for retailers and for media companies via APIs and tools that we provide that allow people to improve their digital performance.
Yeah. Busy year, I can imagine.
Yeah,
with all of that going on.
Yeah, very different.
Now, the way dealers have had to adapt to speaking to customers this year, in many cases, virtually not physically. It's unprecedented this year, really. And I think it's fair to say those dealers who haven't got an effective means of doing business digitally are really losing out. Is that what you're seeing, Shaun?
Yeah, I think if we wound back 12 months, I don't think anybody saw 2020 coming at all. I think there were some great strides made in 2019 with some of the major media companies and retailers themselves and manufacturers coming out with digital tools, and we'd seen the journey for the last couple of years, but obviously this year unprecedented. It's certainly fast tracked everybody's thinking. It's fast tracked a lot of development, and became from last year when people were thinking this might be the future, it became a reality very, very quickly. And obviously in the first lockdown, it was the only way that retailers could keep in touch with customers. The digital presences they have became their only available storefront. A lot of people obviously took action during that one, which has left them better prepared for this one. But certainly, this the lockdown period and COVID this year is fast tracked. I think various people have been guessing around 5 years. We'll never know, but that's probably a reasonable estimate.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably fair to say that in the first lockdown there was a level of shock, wasn't there? No matter what business you were, it was like, wow, this is actually, this is big. And you must have seen that, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There were people that already had some tools in place. Obviously, when lockdown happened, we had a lot of activity, a lot of people reaching out, a lot of our agency friends, a lot of retailers direct in terms of, okay, this has happened. It's caught us unawares. We're not quite prepared. What do we need to do? So certainly the first part of lockdown was incredibly busy. We worked as quickly as we could to get tools out, and we offered quite a lot of solutions free of charge. Yeah. Some of those are still being used, and we've extended that into lockdown too. But we just felt that we had to try and do something. We had to speed up some of these tools and offer them out there. I think nobody knew what that lockdown would look like or how we'd come out the other side of it, but certainly it's led to a huge amount of innovation in digital and greater advancement, and most people, not everybody, were far better prepared when we went into the second one.
Definitely. And I think it's fair to say that dealers will definitely remember the companies that have helped them out this year, and we're probably formulating future relationships in the years ahead. So good on you for that. That was it was good to see.
The suppliers, there was some suppliers out there were terrific, and I think we took the view that the chief priority was ensuring as many of our retailers got through and were out the other side of lockdown in a healthy state. We need we need a retailer market to work in, and that was a priority. But a lot of suppliers stepped up to help out. It was fantastic to see.
Yeah, no, it was very good to see. Now Will, how have you been engaging with customers this year? I mean, what have you been doing differently, or what have you not been doing differently? And how important have those digital tools been to you?
Well, firstly, can I just preach thank you to the suppliers that have been good to the industry. On the back of what Shaun said, I think we would have all struggled even more this year had it not been for some fantastic support from suppliers. So personally, I'd like to thank the suppliers that have especially looked after our family business. So thank you to them. But you go back to the start of the year prior to lockdown one, should we call it, and we were talking with Shaun and Codeweavers about let's start selling cars digitally online, which I think we all knew it was coming more and more, and obviously we're seeing some big names enter the marketplace, and as a small family business, we've got to compete to the best of our ability. Lockdown suddenly happened, but I still didn't see it coming myself and wasn't ready for it, which I've said before in the past. And quickly we adapted to being able to start the journey online for customers purchasing. And I thought this is the changing point. We will really see a sharp rise in online retailing and transacting, should we call it. Obviously, we've already seen the increase in web inquiries over the years, valuations, finance calculations, that sort of stuff. But the actual full transaction, we weren't quite there yet. So during the first lockdown, obviously we were trying to divert as much traffic and physical calls to the website. Obviously we were fully closed from a showroom perspective, a little bit different to now where we're what our class is remotely open. But quickly after the first lockdown, James, what I noticed was we were geared up, ready to sell cars online from a used perspective. Bought a new trailer, everything, we'd set everything up, digital signatures, and nobody wanted the cars delivered. It just wasn't happening, to the point where we were starting evaluating it. And I think the big difference this year has been that people are locked up, were locked down, and they were actually excited to come back to your dealership, get out the house. So I think we had to get the balance right, where if those that wanted to do it could do it, but not put all their eggs in one basket and go full online. We still had to ensure that the showroom environment was as exciting as it was beforehand, and the people that did want to deal online could do. So we saw that change, and I think we got maybe a bit complacent and sort of left the sort of digital journey to the side, because people were coming in, enjoying coming in. And I think it's fair to say, as a used car industry this year, we've all had a success on the back of it. Fast forward to lockdown 2, we knew it was coming, and dare say, you think, well, are we ready for it? And I'd say we were 90% ready for it. We're still working very hard, but just recently what I did is mapped out the journey of a customer. And obviously we know people start the journey online, researching the vehicle. I don't know what the stat will be now, 95%, 98%. We know that happens. But to me, the big thing is, can a customer switch easily between a physical in your showroom transaction to a digital transaction? And when I say the word transaction, that's to me buying the car online. And again, with the tools available, obviously a little plug for Shaun, Codeweavers allows that switch nicely. And I think that's the key, that every customer is different, especially on the back of COVID. Everyone's got different sort of comfort levels. So the customer has to be able to switch between the two. And I think I'd say we're 95% there now, ready for 2021. Will this continue? We don't know how long it's going to continue for. But I think at least on the back of this, we've educated ourselves that customers will transact differently, and they've got to be able to switch between that physical and digital purchase journey.
Yeah. I'd just like to sort of pick on that that switch between digital and physical there, Shaun. A lot of that switch is dependent upon trust and loyalty, really, isn't it? I'm a customer, I've got to feel as though there's an element of trust between doing part of the journey online and then actually making the leap to the physical relationship in the dealership. Trust and loyalty, two very easy words to sort of sprout out, aren't they?
Yeah.
A lot harder to actually achieve.
Yeah, I think one of the things we have to ensure is that people aren't penalised from buying a car online and doing the digital journey. We need to align the sales processes. We need to align the models. People should get the same experience if they're doing it all online, if they're doing it all in store, or if they're doing part online and part in store, and flipping between the journeys. And they should be as seamless, and they should have the same level of customer satisfaction, customer engagement, and the same outcome. So I think there's work to do on maybe our retail models, moving towards pricing models that work in both scenarios, which is maybe a move to more fixed price rather than negotiation, because that's actually difficult to replicate online, and isn't actually the the experience that customers that are buying online necessarily want. People go online because they want simplicity. People go online because they want ease, because it suits where they are. It suits the time that they've got. It suits the way they want to buy things. So we need to be mindful of that. We can't treat these as two completely separate channels, and customers are priced differently, or they get a different level of service. They're two channels that are going to migrate into one that should be seamless. There is, if you look at the stats that we've collected now, I'm sure everybody else has got the same. When you start to retail online, actually, there's no magic bullet. Customers don't suddenly starting a journey and getting to the end of a journey without interaction and buying in droves. I think Will's probably seen it. He will have sold as many cars from customers that have done part of the journey and have gone and done the bits that they want to do, that have looked at what a deal might look like and actually completed with Phil off that journey, with Will off that journey. And so there are customers that don't want to do all in either environment. They want to do some, and they want to move between those environments. So I think this year's been great for collecting data. It's been great for collecting experience. And we need to take that now. We need to continue to improve on it, because we're by no means where we need to be in the medium term.
Yeah, definitely. Will, I mean, your family business has got lots of very happy customers, bought repeat business, a lot of loyalty there. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it to actually achieve that online?
Yeah, it's a great question, something we've had to learn quickly, but I think it's very simple, James, and you've just got to ask yourself, how do you act when buying online? It's that time of year where we start becoming Santa Claus as parents, and instantly you're into reviews. Your kids say they want ... and that's on a small ticket price item, and so you're checking the other parents' reviews, and you're trusting a stranger's review. So reviews, we know, is very strong. When we redeveloped our website, maybe 5 years ago, I'm at a guess, we said, right, we're a small family business. We haven't got marketing budgets to do TV campaigns. We've got to push on our strengths, which is our reviews. So if you look at any of our new car offers or any of our used cars, it's not just a Google review in the corner. You can see individual customer reviews. And what we then did on top of that was dissect it down to excluding non-franchise, but down to model specific, so that it was just added more weight to this is a genuine review, that this customer's bought a Suzuki Swift, and this is the review of that model and the customer experience of dealing with us, not just we bought a car from Blackshaws. So we've played on that quite a bit. And I think the other thing from building trust online is the promptness and personalization of the way you deal with leads. One item we recently installed and we're trialing at the minute is a video app called BombBomb. And the beauty of this is, and this is no disrespect to some of the suppliers out there which do very, very good jobs, but you can insert this video into into an email with no templates, simple little link, and it integrates with Outlook. So as soon as a lead comes in, we can reply quickly, but it's a personal email, James, to that customer, with a link of a personal email, and there's no fancy templates or anything. It makes it personal, and I think that just shows that you're dealing with a human at the other end. It's not just an auto response. So it's just then probably two elements: personalization of leads and reviews for us is what we feel is the strength. And again, another little shameless plug, obviously enter the used car awards and try and use that to your advantage where possible.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, to people who are watching, Father Christmas does exist. Don't listen to what Will will say there. But Will, can I just stick with you here and just say, I mean, it's not just dealers who've had to think differently this year, but I mean, manufacturers too. I mean, what have you been seeing from the OEMs?
Like, we only represent Mitsubishi and Suzuki, and as you guys reported last week, Suzuki put an incentive on, which, 100% credit to Suzuki. They've identified that this is an opportunity. Try to choose my words carefully, not to offend any of the network or anyone, but yeah, there's an opportunity there for Suzuki dealers. So I'm confident you did present the financial figure, didn't you? That was available in the press before I see it.
Yeah, yes, I think it. Yeah, isn't it? Yes, yeah. We did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll not mention just in case, but obviously there's a financial reward there for updating your web presence. Yeah. But it's not just that. Behind the scenes, from Suzuki's point of view, they've been putting a lot of best practice training on through companies, how to deal with customers via the likes of WhatsApp mediums, and emphasising the importance of PPE during the COVID part of it as well. So there has been a lot of support from Suzuki, and I must give them full credit for what they've done. Not on the back of that as well, many of us are dual franchise, so if we all increase our web presence, not just for Suzuki, other manufacturers will benefit from this. I think we've done a good job as an industry getting used car online retailing going, and I think Shaun would probably back up that there's now a surge starting to grow for new car retailing online with the manufacturer.
Yeah, and it goes back to the point we were making earlier on, isn't it? We're all in this together, and we should all be helping each other, because it's tough at the moment, but it's got the potential to be even tougher in a year to 2 years' time if we don't make the right decisions now. Shaun, can I just move to you and just talk about managing leads? Now, I know it's a slightly frivolous thing to say that managing leads is important, but it really is now, isn't it? And generating those leads and effectively managing those is tough, but also absolutely crucial.
It is. There's I always go back to there was some research done at MIT a while ago at the very outset of e-commerce, and the one stat that's always stuck in my mind was, if you don't follow a customer up within 48 hours, if you just don't talk to them, because you've got more chance of ever dealing with the customer in their lifetime if you don't respond than if you do. Because if you don't respond, you might have missed it. If you do, you're looking as though you're slightly incompetent or don't care about the customer. And then, that was a striking stat. But then you look back and go, okay, if I'm earlier in the journey, what happens if I follow them up after half an hour? And time is it's got a staggering impact on conversion rates. There is no more important metric when you're following leads up than time, about having the right time, but also referencing, making it personal, as Will's just pointed out. The use of video, trying to bring that personality, trying to bring your brand personality, and that human touch to following that lead up. It's really important, but we still haven't got the time bit right yet. There's still leads that aren't followed up quick enough. There's leads that aren't followed up, full stop, which is another thing. So if there's one thing I'd say to retailers is, work on that following leads up. Look at how you do it. Look at the speed at which you do it, but also the personality you bring into that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And there'll be many dealers watching this and thinking, I don't know where to start. But there are companies such as yours which are which are there and can work with the dealer and create a tailor-made solution. It's not this doesn't have to be an uphill battle, does it?
No, there's plenty of people that are out there to help. There are media agencies that are making great strides. There are companies like us that work with media agencies that can help as well. There are plenty of opportunities. There's an argument that says we're not all systems providers aren't working together to the benefit of retailers yet, and that'd be a valid one. As an industry, we all need to be talking to each other, being more integrated. Maybe not so obsessive about our own front ends. Sometimes we're not doing enough to help retailers. Retailers shouldn't have between 5 and 10 different systems in a dealership to manage their business. That we're not doing them any favors as suppliers if we're not working towards consolidating that and being more natural integrated. So that's certainly, from a supplier perspective, something that I think we should do an awful lot better as a supplier sector. So plenty of work still to do, but and there's plenty of people out there that retailers can talk to that are there to help, and some big strides being made.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Just finally, gentlemen, I mean, one piece of advice for 2021. Let me turn to you, Shaun, first. What would be your if you can narrow it down to one piece of advice, what would it be?
If you'd have asked that last year, I think all our advice had probably been not expecting what we've had this year. But I think, we are where we are. I think my piece of advice would be the journey's not ended. Whatever you've done this year is part of a journey. Keep doing it next year. Look at your data. Look at your journeys. Press your partners for better. Press your partners to be more integrated. But keep on this journey. Don't think that COVID's over. Next year we'll be back to normal, because customer expectations have changed. 2020 will have changed the way people look to do things. The impact of this year is, it will not return to normal in 2021. There'll be some legacy customer behaviors that will carry on. So keep improving your journey, keep looking at the data. Do not think that things will return to normal, because they're unlikely to.
Yeah, sage advice. And same question to you, Will.
Two-part answer for you. I know you said one, but I think to me it's a two-part. Obviously, where are we going to be with COVID? Let's sort of the elephant in the room. Even if it fast forwarded and things got really better very quickly, hypothetically, let's say start of April.
Yeah.
For me, James, the big issue is going to be, I think people have been so locked up and fed up during it. I think everyone's going to want to go on holiday, if I'm honest. So, and underlying in the background as well, we've still got the horrible Brexit thing going on, how will that influence new car pricing? Potentially 2021 to me could be quite a challenging year, which we seem to say this every year, but we, as a motor trade, we always adapt very well. So to answer the question though, is one of my big focuses is on after sales capacity, because I think if people do put off buying a car, there's going to be an initial year's worth of MOT business to go at, as opposed to people buying new cars. People may put off changing the car, and that'll generate footfall into your business. Now, I appreciate not everyone's got after sales businesses, but if you have got one, can you be doing stuff today to allow more capacity next year for after sales business, which then creates opportunities for car sales? But if you haven't, and back to the point before about leads, it's such a competitive market there digitally now, and trying to stand out is so difficult without spending huge money. So if you do get that lead, back to Shaun's 48 hours, some of our manufacturers task us with 1 hour. Really, it should be half an hour if we're being honest. So if a customer does give you that opportunity and that lead, they've given you this opportunity, treat it like a golden nugget, because they might become a little bit less frequent next year. So use this opportunity while we are a little bit quieter to be reviewing your lead strategy, shall we call it. And just quickly, what we're doing in the background is trialing the Zendesk platform alongside our other mediums to see if that gives a better, quicker response to customers, and is it easier for the sales executives and is it better for us to manage? And then, so we're running sort of 2 CRM processes at the minute to work out which is the best and quickest way. And again, I think that comes down to the whole trust thing, and the rest just sort of follows on from there.
Yeah. Interesting viewpoint that. I mean, 2020 has been the year of people not going on holiday and buying cars instead. It could be the other way around next year.
There's going to be a lot of free holiday vouchers if you buy a car campaigns, I suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there today, I'm afraid, but that was a fascinating discussion. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, James. Thank you.
Cheers.
So if you'd like to be involved in the Car Dealer Live just like this one, then please do email me, james.batchelor@blackballmedia.co.uk. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.